And that's what starts revolution. And that's what Mr. Pennerin is talking about. And every country is going to have this problem. Because every country has had problems with their leadership, even in Russia. I mean, these guys are no saints. I mean, if you worked for the KGB, you were a pretty callous person. Or the NKVD, or FAS as it's called, and so on. And so, every country stands a possibility of revolution. That's why they want to have another war, so they can suck out all the young people from all the different countries and get them all killed. Then the governments within those countries won't get overthrown. So if we're going to have another war, Third World War, and they want to draft people, the people are going to say ain't going and refuse to go. And I don't think any government is going to want to spare troops to send to America to put down a revolution. Never happened. NATO is going to have the same problems. Everybody's going to have problems. So I think these people got a real problem, the Illuminates. Because it ain't going to work. And they are going to lose control. And we are going to liquidate them. And they know it.
You know, Bob, when you were talking about the information about the country being split up into 6 different regions, I was reading an article about the Obamas, the infrastructure planning, that a lot of the infrastructure would be rebuilt in regions, that various monies would be going to different sectors and so forth. And so when I was reading that about how supposedly how, some of his programs would be split up, I just thought about that article and about, well, there's the beginning of the split up of the country by already regionalizing by the rebuilding of the infrastructure. So, anyway.
Well, there's going to be parts of America that are going to be totally unrulable. Unrulable. And I don't know what's going to happen to that. I mean, will you have heavy concentrations of poor people, illegal aliens, and then any major city is a real problem, whether it's Chicago or Atlanta or New York or Boston or LA or San Francisco, Phoenix. They're all going to have problems. They're going to have crime problems once in a while, right out of the box. And the reason why is people are not going to have things to eat. That's why I always talk about dehydrated, freeze-dried food, a filter for water, weapons to defend your family. You need them. It's like an insurance policy. If you don't have them, you're crazy. If you say, I don't want to have a weapon because I don't want to kill someone, that's fine. But be prepared to die. Because people are going to come to your house, perhaps, and say, I want food, and if you don't give it to me, I'll shoot you. And maybe they'll take it and shoot you anyway. I mean, that's just the way people turn into animals. I mean, I've seen it in country after country. There are no good conflicts. There are no good wars. There are no good causes. Because in the final analysis, all too many people die. And as far as I know, you only come this way once. And it's not worth it.
Question from Marianne and Tony. What indications will be that Paulson and his gangsters will not be able to effectively manipulate the market anymore? Will it be when the Treasury bubble bursts? And is there any rough guesstimate of when this could happen?
when the Treasury bubble will burst.
And will it be when the Treasury bubble bursts?
Well, you know, quite frankly, it really has already burst. And we are in deep trouble already. I mean, you know, the question is, how soon? You know, I'm on other shows and the moderators talk about, well, this has got to happen in the next month or so, or the next 2 or 3 months, and I tell them you got to have patience. The things that these people want to do, who are the power behind government, everything has to be, quote, right for them to move. And they're not ready yet. They're in disarray is a good word for it. They're concerned. They're afraid they might lose control. If the situation for them is every bit as serious as it is for us, only they have control over it at this present time. We do not. We can't influence it one bit. All we can do is react. And the reaction will come when people are hungry. Massive unemployment, no jobs. They cut back on services that they can give you because they don't have any money anymore. Inflation is raging. The only thing that's really legal tender is gold and silver coin. You get the picture? What we've been talking about, I've been on radio probably for the last 12 years in this particular time frame. I've been doing radio for 40 years. I used to do lots of television. Up until 20 years ago when GE took over KFN in Los Angeles, in Los Angeles, and it became CNBC. I used to be on 3 or 4 times a week. Not anymore. I can't get on television. But the point is, the message is getting out there through the internet, which we didn't have 15 years ago, and through programs like this. The people are learning the truth. The people are learning who the bad guys are. People know who they can put their sights on.